Does anyone remember Heartbreaker? The gear set that came in with so much promise. But then, and it had nothing to do with me, by the way, before anybody says anything in the comments. It got taken back significantly. When it came into the game, it was absolutely amazing. We could have armor for days. We could shoot dogs with one-shot pistol builds with it. It literally, absolutely was the bee's knees. And then it got taken back a bit, and obviously strikers became a thing as well. And it kind of just took a bit of a back seat. So let me know in the comments down below, right off the rip, do you guys actually run Heartbreaker? And today, we're going to do a little bit of a Heartbreaker throwback. And I've got a build that I've got on right now. We're going to play it for a little bit in Bank Headquarters, on Heroic, obviously, and just kind of see how it plays. Now, obviously, I have a very unique play style. I tend to use the, well, it's not unique, but I tend to use the shield a lot, and I tend to use the revive hive, and a lot of people don't use that. So today we are going for Banshee Pulse. So I'll probably get wrecked, and this video probably won't even get published. But let's give it a go, and let's see. Best make sure I've got my headset on correctly so I can hear everything. No excuses, right? And we're on triple XP right now, which is always a beautiful thing. So remember, for the Heartbreaker bonus to be a thing, they have to be pulsed. Now, you don't have to use a skill like I just did. You can just hit them in a headshot. So, you know, if you're awesome like me and you can hit headshots. You see then, he got pulsed straight away. I've got the exotic backpack on as well. So, we're a little bit lacking on damage at the moment. But it is going to be a requirement that you hit them headshots. So as you can see there, we've got quite a decent Heartbreaker bonus. Plenty of survivability as well, which is, you know, is always nice. This room's going to be alright, I think. The next big open room could get a little bit awkward. Definitely want to get as many as you can at the start, because then, you know, you don't have to worry about the headshot. Get them stacked up as quick as we can. I have got a rock and roll equipped. Or if we wanted to go, you know, the old shotgun route. But again, not always massively popular. Now, as you noticed there, and as you noticed in the room before, I only got to half stacks. I did pretty well, I think, for getting headshots and the pulse shots. And I only did 3/4 stacks in the previous room as well. So therefore, I don't really feel like in normal mission situations. What is he doing? You see him sliding. The new version of the electric slide right there. I really don't feel like it's worth in normal missions running the chest piece for the extended stacks. Like, it's just not. I just don't think it is. I just don't think you'll get anywhere. Like with this guy now, we could get max stacks really quickly. There we go. Switch to the shotgun. I'm gonna pulse him because he's being annoying. He doesn't care. He's just strutting down the catwalk. What is going on with my enemies today? That, I mean, I'm lost for words, right? It's a little bit bizarre.
Looks like that key card is the one we were looking for.
I love the Division. So let's just crack on. We'll do this next room as well. I probably won't finish the mission. I don't want this, you know, this video's already 4 minutes long. That's secure the area. Who's hiding? Bro. Where? Somebody in there? What is he doing? So there is other options that I'll go over that you could potentially run with this. Obviously, I'm using the Banshee Pulse. You could run the TAC 50 and use the Pulse Drone. That has a huge uptime without any kind of skill needed as well. We have got a skill tier in here as well, so you know you would get a little bit of extended time. So if you didn't want to use that, you could obviously use the regular pulse if you really wanted to, but I feel like it's a bit of a waste. Or you could just hit the headshot. So you've got quite a few options for this. Alright, so let's take a look at the build that I was talking about. So we'll get straight into it. So I was using the St. Elmo. I think for chill, easy play, the St. Elmo's definitely one of your best in slots. The electric talent on it just makes for easier play. But by all means, use whichever gun you want with this build, but I definitely would recommend using an assault rifle of sorts. We talked about the rock and roll. This could be an ACS-12 with sledgehammer on, or whatever you want to run here if you really feel like you need that extra damage. But for stack building, there's nothing better than the rock and roll. Pistol can be whatever you want. I just like the card. It's just there, but we're never going to use it in this scenario. I went with gunner with assault rifle damage because we get 10% armor on kill. We always get ammo back as well, which sometimes in a pinch can be really, really nice. So, you know, again though, you could, like I said, run the TAC 50 there and use the TAC drone for the pulse if you really want to. If you're running solo, it definitely does make sense to run the memento. We get so much from this thing. We get weapon damage, armor, and skill tier. Crit chance in the bottom slot, because we want to make sure we're definitely at 60. And then obviously we're getting all three of these bonuses. We're getting much more weapon damage because we're mainly a red, but we do get some bonus armor as well, because I did throw a couple of bonus cores, armor cores in there. Obviously we get one from the memento, but I thought it would be nice to run an extra one here just to kind of bump that armor a little bit and get a little bit of extra bonus armor. So if we're going to look at the chest, I went with the Palisade chest piece. This is a pretty beastie piece of gear to try and farm. It gives us 10% armor on kill, but obviously I had to change the core attribute to weapon damage. Now, I could quite easily recommend just running this as a blue core, especially in this build anyway, as it's somewhat armor focused. We've got crit chance, crit damage, and crit chance in the mod slot with Obliterate, just my favourite chest talent. But if you only wanted to run 2 blues, it could literally be these two, and then the gloves will be a much easier farm. As you can see, I could change that to a weapon core. I'm just being fancy and showing off a little bit that I've got this chest piece. It's definitely a little bit of a flex. Let me know if you've managed to farm one though in the comments down below. And then with Heartbreaker, we get assault rifle damage, which is really, really nice. We could run an LMG with this, thinking about it, because we're not using a shield. We are using the Banshee pulse, so you could whack out your favourite LMG with this as well. You just might have to adjust your crit chance and crit damage via mods if you feel like doing that. We get 15% weapon handling, which is really nice for the extra reload. And then we get the heart stopper bonus, which I was talking about. So weapon hits on pulsed enemies add a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% weapon damage to these pulsed enemies, up to 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost per second, and I've got weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage on the head. But just remember, if your pulse is down, headshots apply the pulse as well, allowing you to build these stacks up, and not very many enemies nowadays last past the 5 seconds. For the gloves, we're running armor and crit damage. Knees, we're running weapon damage and crit chance. And for the holster, weapon damage and crit damage. Now, you have quite a bit of flexibility with this build that you can, your rolls don't have to be exactly the same as mine. All you need to aim for is to use your minor attributes to get to 60% crit chance, exactly that you can do with this build, and then pile everything else into critical hit damage. You can see with the pulse, obviously I'm using the Banshee pulse, but you could use other ones if you wanted to. You could even use the Jammer pulse if you're going up against Black Tusk. And then we're going to use the Revive Hive as a backup. If you wanted to take a look at the stats, this is exactly 60% crit chance, 113% critical hit damage, 75% headshot damage, and obviously because we're using an assault rifle, we get 21% health damage. As far as stats go, it's nothing to write home about, and you can achieve this kind of thing with strikers with a few tweaks. Also, just running the memento, running gunner, gives you a lot of survivability with strikers. So is this worth running the headshots and running it as a build? It's kind of okay, right? I think it's kind of okay. It's not anything to write home about, like I've said a million times already, and probably way too many times in the video. But as far as survivability goes, if you're a bit newer to the game, and you're not quite farmed up yet, Heartbreaker is a good shout. And if you want to practice your headshots, and you want to make sure that you get a bit more tip top on that, it's probably worth giving it a go for a little while, because you've got to hit them heads. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you running this? Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Maybe check me out on X, where you'll get all the latest DJ Tickle news as soon as possible. And if you want to join a really cool Discord, you'll find all the links in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, agents. Enjoy your weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.